Welcome to the Chaotic Tea Party, where your host Shell
and Annette tackle questions or topics that vary from the insane
to the mundane. Please be advised that this podcast has an explicit rating.
It will contain adult language and content that some listeners may find offensive.
With that in mind, if you still think this is your cup of tea,
welcome to our Chaotic Tea Party,
where nothing makes sense, but the tea is strong
and the biscuits are plentiful.
Season 3. Annette!
Yes. I was just having a warm milk.
Bollocks, she was having a warm milk. I can see you on the screen, you lying tart.
Shit.
So it's time to record the next episode of
the season of Emma. Emma season. All Emma, all season long.
I don't know what we've done to upset Emma.
Yeah, Emma, seriously.
Because, you're really making us, use our brains. Normally we just rock up to these and fuck about for a little while.
It's a very deep season.
Yeah, and it's quite a revealing season. But yeah, Emma's next question was, would you rather throw away money or love? Annette, go!
Oh,
inspire me! I don't know what to say. It's your turn. You go.
Okay. Okay. So, my immediate reaction would be, bin the love, always go cash. You know?
That's my girl.
Yeah. I mean, but no, seriously though, the idea of being financially worry-free just sounds amazing. Like, I would put money as my topmost stress factor in life.
Definitely, 100%, yes.
Like, I'm always just barely keeping my head above water. A lot of the time. It's always, as I've gotten older and more responsibilities have come in and things like that. And, it's not just I can flitter about and do this, do that. I have to, lay roots.
Feed your child.
Yeah, I have to lay. I've got other people to feed. It's like, it's okay when all I had to live on was microwave chips and beer. It was different then. Didn't matter. It's just a couple of disco naps and then I'm off again. But no, back to always just keeping my head above water. But the only reason I was able to keep my head above water was the love and support of family and friends.
Oh, you thought about this and gave yourself an out.
Well, no, but to be fair, the idea of not having the love of family, or even like you yourself, yours either, just don't bear thinking about, because without it, I seriously would question, in some circumstances, if I'd even still be here, if I didn't have you guys around me. So though it pains me to say it,
thanks.
it really hurts to say it. I really don't want to. I would have to say I'm going to throw away love. No, money. Throw away money. I mean.
You sure? Going. 3, 2, 1. Come, quick.
No. This is the worst. I feel like Sophie's Choice.
So you're going to throw away money?
I'm going to have to. I mean, like I said, the end of it, without those, I'd be happy. I'd be comfortable. The stress would be off, but then that's the only stress that would be off. There's so many other points that will cause issue. Money doesn't really doesn't solve everything. It solves a lot, but it doesn't solve everything.
Yeah.
And then with that, you get the wrong kind of people around you the more you have, from what I've seen.
I think you'd have to hide that you had money. You like that level of money. If you won the lottery or something, as awful as it sounds, I think you'd have to not make everybody aware of what you had.
Definitely. So no, unfortunately, I'm ashamed to say I would have to go with love. Ugh. I hate myself. Come on then, Shell. What's yours?
Well, so love as in lover's love.
Oh, well, we can buy them with money.
Yeah, because I for me that would just be like ciao, but not as in love of family. So my nieces and my nephews.
Exactly.
My mum, my aunt Den. those people I would, you'd swim through broken
I
glass
mean, you
for
couldn't
them.
have imagined throwing them, could you?
No. I want
Yeah.
money. I'll be very clear. If anybody out there wants to give me money,
Dibs. Me too, me too.
yeah, yeah. Hello, friend. Do
I
you know?
like money a lot.
I do really fucking like money. Um, I've mentioned before to anyone who's feeling generous how much I love Mustangs. It doesn't have to come in the form of cash.
Oh,
If you want to send a present, new Mustang would be absolutely lush. Thank you very
oh,
much. But yeah, so love as in lovers, we know that I unfortunately gravitate to crazy. So I got to a point in my life where I was like, if I find myself possibly beginning to fall in love with you, it's probably because somewhere within this wonderful facade you're presenting, there is a screw loose. Um, you
I
know it,
do.
Annette,
I
don't you?
100% know it. I've met some.
You've witnessed them
Yeah.
all. Yeah, you've pretty much witnessed in some shape or form all of them, and they're all disastrous.
I would title that
Um,
chapter, Wow.
yeah, but don't get me wrong, they're
Oh,
pretty,
yes.
intelligent, articulate, can appear to be funny,
Fantastic racks.
charming. That is a theme, isn't it?
Nice boobs.
Yeah, that is a theme that, yeah, I didn't notice that in
I
it.
definitely
Um,
did. I remember the dentist you referred me to. I'm never going to forget her.
ooh, yeah, feisty
She
redhead.
nearly choked me with them, giving me a.
It's just arrest them on your forehead.
She's been trying to slide back off the chair before she tried to choke you with them resting on your neck.
Those were the days. Um,
But I digress.
so yeah, no, love as in lovers. Nah, it's all right, thanks. You can have a good time. I don't, I don't believe intimacy, shall we say, is directly related to love.
Oh, hell no.
So you can still have good grown-up times without having to have the love
Yeah,
aspect.
and these people will be professional and know what they're doing.
No, no, don't pay for it,
Why
dear,
not? Just fling you all over the place.
because we've already said we don't have any
Oh,
money.
well, that, well, true. No, this is if we had money.
If we had money, no, 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 I'm talking about now.
Oh no,
um,
I wouldn't pay myself.
but yeah, for love of family, then no, that would I'd throw away all day long. So I mean, my
Yeah.
dad had a really good saying. So died at 56, relatively
Hmm.
unexpected. Well, we knew he was ill, but it came out
It
of
was
nowhere. What we thought the illness was cancer.
it was very
Um,
quick.
and his saying had always been, "What's the point in being the richest man in the graveyard?"
Yep.
And him and my mum, he used to renovate houses. So they'd renovate a house, they'd flip the house, and then my mum and dad would go and do some kind of insane holiday or cruise somewhere and have a really good time and do madness together. Like they'd go and have a whale of a time and then rock
Yeah.
back, and then he'd do another house, and that was kind of their theme, their routine that they fell into. And their friends used to say to them, but mate, what you should invest that money. So they did an American
Yeah.
cruise. Was one of the last ones that they did, and it cost them a
Mm.
fortune. And they did all round America and
Oh.
skirted along Canada and stuff like. Anyway, they did
Oh
loads of mad
wow.
stuff. Then he got ill, but they used to say to him, "You should be investing, mate. You should do that." And he used to say, "What's the point of being the richest man in the graveyard?" Now, when he died at 56, if they had have sat on that money and
Yeah.
invested, like all their friends had told them to do, my mum wouldn't have the
No.
memories that she has
Yeah.
now. And I'm talking like crazy fun
Yeah.
memories. There's a picture of my dad trying to not fall off of one of the carriages in Central Park. Do you know, like, because he was trying to hold on to this giant burger. It just those silly things, the things that they saw and that they did.
That is 100% definitely your father. I would rather fall to my death than drop this burger.
Yeah, do you know? They just wouldn't have had all the amazing times that they had. and seen all the things that they'd seen. I mean, they did everywhere. They did like Croatia, Hamburg, the States, like you name one of the countries, Norway. They did them all. They just go, well, let's go on this cruise, and off they went.
There was that one time we accidentally ended up going to Wales, though it wasn't really a
There was
holiday.
that. See, those crazy fun times. So yeah, no, I'm with you. As surprising as that is,
Oh my gosh.
it,
Ew.
I would go with family love of
Yeah.
family. I'll be specific.
Ew, I hate us. Ugh. But I will say I'm slightly disappointed. Yes, I was invited on family haven holidays. Why I wasn't invited on that American cruise, I'm not happy.
Mate, they didn't take their own children.
They learned fast.
Yeah, no, they didn't do the big cruises until we all left home. They were like, bye, you can look after the house and the dog.
No, you can
And it's,
you
oh, then
no,
bye.
you're spending like midweek break in a caravan. That's all we can afford. What's that you've left? Woo woo! Vegas, baby.
You used to get video calls. I mean, I can remember a video call from Croatia going,
It's so hot here. Look, it's lovely.
it's, okay.
um.
And I mean, the American cruise that they went on, they were gone for a month. It
Man.
was full on epic. And I can remember dropping them at Southampton and coming home. And me and my sister going, they're going to be away for a month. And I think it was the longest month of me and my sister's
Oh.
lives. And they were having such a good time in it that they weren't bothering to ring us. Do you know, like you'd get the odd little text of going, hope all's well.
Oh, that's the dream. Abandon your
We're
children.
docking in, yeah, we're docking in New York tomorrow. Oh, yeah, fine. I've got cheese sandwiches for lunch. So yeah, no, I think that philosophy, there's a balance to it, so I'm not saying spend
No,
everything, but I think what is the point in being the richest man in the
it's
graveyard?
true.
We all go in a box and we all go in the ground.
Well, depending, you could end up.
And depending, unless you want a mushroom death soup, but we can't afford that.
And if we keep mentioning enough, do you think we'll get sponsored by them?
That would be so fucking cool. So what's your sponsorship for your podcast? Oh, I'm sponsored to have a mushroom death soup. But it'd come to crunch time and you'd be going, no, I've changed my mind. I'm going to give that to someone else. We could give it away in a
Yeah.
competition in it. I looked at it and it ain't for me. But yeah, well, I'm guessing that answers the question. So we're going with love of family. And I would just like to very cheesily tag into that there are real friends in life that you consider family. So Annette, you're part of the crew, whether you like it or not.
I know. I had my initiation many, many years ago with your family. You know the one I'm talking about.
I do, and we're not going to mention
No.
that. So and I've got a friend, Karina, in Ireland, love her to bits, and my girl Sherry, who still lives in London. If you're lucky in life, you get a very small amount of friends that you would consider family, the people that you'd help bury the
Yeah,
bodies,
oh,
really.
100%.
If you've got that phone call of going, "Ah, need a shovel and black sack," she'd be like, okay, I'm coming, I've got I read in a crime book if you use horseradish, it destroys DNA. Smear them in horseradish, smear them in horseradish.
You you know a bit too much.
I read it somewhere. I have no idea if it's true or if it's just some shit someone included in something. But I read horseradish will erode and affect DNA in whatever you leave behind. But can you imagine going into Tesco's and going like, I need the whole shelf of horseradish? I just had a thought. I don't know if our international listeners will even know what horseradish is.
Is it like a root vegetable? I think a horseradish is. It's like a root type vegetable, but you
It's a food
co
complement.
com complement? Condiment.
No, it's not
Condiment.
condiment.
Yes.
Condiment. There we go. I need another.
But no, you can't yeah, you it gets down and it's like a very hot, it's kind of like a mustard. Oh no, there's something else that's a bit more like it, isn't there?
I think mustard's the closest, but that's English mustard, not
Yeah.
French mustard. So basically, it's quite fiery. It's a sauce that you generally have with
Oh,
beef.
horseradish and beef sandwich. Oh.
Yeah, roast beef there, and it's absolutely delicious. It's got the bite of English mustard, not French mustard or American
Yeah, no,
mustard.
it really gets you in the back of the throat.
We'll clear your sinuses
Oh,
out good
hell
time.
yes,
It's nice.
so good.
Um, But yes, so that's the queue into, you'd have to go into Tesco's or your local Asda's, Walmart, I'm guessing if you're in America, and steal all of the horseradish off the shelf, going up to the checkout girl, hi, yeah, I've got 200 of these, thanks. Is there any more out the back?
With one pack of like sliced beef, so it doesn't look too obvious.
It's a charity thing. It's a charity thing. Um, so well, anyway, to wrap up, our next question from Emma, because we are continuing with the season of Emma.
Yep.
You still don't come up
I
with a theme tune.
haven't. I'm trying to. I'm struggling.
The next question is, oh man, she's making us use her brains, man.
Ew.
The next question is, if a woman, although having said that, my response is easy. If a woman was to knock on your door and tell you that the fate of the world depended on you going with her right away, would you go? Next time!
Next time on an all-new chaotic tea party, what will be their answers?
Well, in that case, Annette, let's rock off. And as we're launching the whole season in one go, the listeners will be able to jump straight to that episode and find out.
Oh, you lucky, lucky bastards.
Yeah. Whereas we're going to agonise about it for a few days before
Yeah,
recording.
but in the meantime, I'm off to have a beef and horseradish sandwich.
Oh, lam. Horseradish mash.
Oh, you tease.
Nice. Okay, love and leave you. See you
Bye,
next time.
guys. It's a big world out there, with plenty for us to ramble on about. But we'd like to hear from you, especially if there's a topic or question we haven't covered that you'd like us to. So please get in touch. We're available via email at chaoticteapartypodcast@gmail.com, Twitter at Chaotic Tea Party, and Facebook and Instagram at Chaotic Tea Party Podcast. And don't forget to rate and subscribe to your podcast listening app of choice. Thanks for listening, and we hope you'll join us again. Speak soon!